I feel like, I felt a roller coaster of things over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But this is a good week.
It's a good week. That's good. Good every day, like just something small.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm hanging. I think it might be a different mentality if the Olympics were like canceled or something.
Yeah.
Like if I knew that like this 100% wasn't going to happen. But I'm trying to stay with the motivation of like that's what I'm working towards.
Yeah.
It's,
Mm.
my kids are pissing me off, but whatever.
What's new?
I know.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I was like thinking back to last summer when you were apart from them for so long, and then now you're with them all the time.
Oh, like, dude, I cannot get away from them. Unless I do these types of things where I lock the bedroom door and the room that I'm in now. So like there's no maneuvering a way to get in. Just leave me alone.
And is Drew with them?
No, they're good. He's right. They could burn the house down. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I honestly kind of love it. That's how I grew up. I was thinking back to just when I was a kid and how like my parents worked all day, and my basic rule, their basic rule was just be home before dark.
Right? We could not do that.
Those were the rules.
I couldn't do that to them. Now I'd be scared some random parent is going to snatch them up, take them away from me forever. That's the world we fucking live in.
I know. There's just so many stories about crazies. It just heightens the anxiety and suspicion of people.
I've been trying to enjoy the fact that I'm home with no outside noise, which in the last 3 years of my life has not been the case. It's like I'm home, I'm training, I'm bullpen, I'm ESPN prepping because I'm going and traveling. Okay, the team's together, I'm here. So my mind is always like scattered, but right now it's just like work out with my kids, work out with my, you know what I mean? So I actually kind of like it being simple. It hasn't been like this for me in a really long time. So
yeah.
I appreciate it.
I'm sure when I just want to get your thoughts on initially, there was like, it was a domino effect of things, right? Softball being canceled, Olympics being canceled. And then nobody even talks about how like, even when softball's canceled, like you're like that's part of your job is to be able to cover and to do games. And now that's not there.
Yeah. Yep.
How are you handling all these things?
As good as I can. I think if I've learned anything, it's just like me being really mad is going to do nothing. I can sit and I can be pissed and I can, say poor me and just get into that like weird tunnel of emotion. But it's just like I feel fortunate to have the kids. I'm lucky because they do give me a breath of fresh air and respect. Like I have to get up and be a good mom every day. So it's not like I can sit and be upset. And I'm really thankful for Andrew, like it makes me realize like we are definitely a team in how we go about this. And yeah, I lost my job and that's money that we lose for our family, but like he's still working hard and we're very fortunate for that. And I'm lucky to have him, especially now. He went on a golf trip yesterday, or 2 days ago, he drove to Portland just for the day to go golf because courses are open there. And it just made me realize, like, when he was gone, how much more motivated I am when he's here. It's just like, oh, I don't need to get up and like do this or that. Like I get my workout in, but like when he's around, it's like, it's nice to be able to like, all right, we got dinner. What do we want to have for dinner? Do you want to have some wine?
Yeah.
I can't imagine people quarantining solo. It would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I don't have kiddos, but I decided to foster a dog.
But there's no significant others? You don't see anyone? I thought you were dating someone.
I was, but we broke up.
Shit.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's been tough for me going through that.
Yeah, that's tough.
But
This is such a unique time in the fact that if people can look at this as a chance to really like view how they want to go about their life and goals, and like, because this is going to be really hard, and there probably might not be another time where you get this much time at home to think and really do like that personal reflection of just like, what do I see? Like the people that are in my life and the ones that contact me during this time, like those are my people. Those are the people that I want to put my energy on. And all that outside stuff, it's like, that's not important. I need to really be focused on like my family, where I'm driven and what I'm driven towards, and like really put my energy towards that, because this is just such a weird poor me time. And it's like, I feel like such a bitch at times because like I don't have that sympathy, especially for like teammates and stuff that are going through this ringer of just like, oh, this sucks for me. And it's like, there's a couple moms on the team that are sacrificing so much and best foot forward. And like, I will always put the better of the team before myself when it comes to this stuff. So it's like, that should be how it is across the board, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I was thinking about, I mean, I came from a family of like, nobody gives a shit about what you did in the past or like what you're doing now. It's like, prove yourself every day. And also you should approach life without needing the external approval of anybody else in the job that you're doing. Like that should come from within, you know? But I do think it's like an interesting time. And in terms of, especially with people losing their jobs and losing loved ones, it's just, it's like a weird time of grieving for a lot of people. And I'm with you 100% that like you can grieve, which you talked about, like I needed 24 hours to process everything that's happening, because there is a grieving process of like, I've grown this attachment to this process, this journey, these people that I've invested my time and energy into, and some of those things no longer exist. But did you ever kind of like go through that process yourself, or were you only allowed yourself like that 24 hours and then you're like, okay, life goes on, time to move on?
You know, I knock on wood, I haven't been affected on the health department as far as anyone in my family. So it's like, I can't speak on behalf of what that's like, but I can say in my heart of hearts, that's definitely the most devastating part about all of this. And when I make the comments to say like, you should be waking up with that sense of motivation to be doing something, it's not speaking to those people that are dealing with stuff that's so personal to them. That is a completely different thing. And I can't speak on that behalf. And I feel fortunate that my family's healthy. But I think what I try to get across and like the message that it's that how long are we allowing ourselves to sit and muster on like negative.
Right.
And everyone has the Olympics to pull them out, or not everyone has that and those types of goals. But at the end of the day, if I didn't have the Olympics, I would still be getting my ass up and finding a way to do something, because I feel like I've learned from the past that if like I wake up with nothing to look forward to, it can kind of blend into the Groundhog Day, you know, like every day.
And that like leads to depression.
Hella depression. And, you know, I've had my weird issues, not like crazy postpartum, but I've gone through some stuff where it's like, it was dark. And I don't ever want to go back there. And I was always okay with asking for help. And this is definitely a dark time. So it's like, you have the right people in your corner to like, help you to be able to, you know, pull you out and just like knock some sense into you. And that's what a good does. A good friend has to be able to be like, pull your head out of your ass, dude. Like, giving yourself this amount of time to be stuck in this darkness. Let's find a way to see light. What can we push you towards? What is things that you're aspiring to be? Are you in a job that you love? Is there something else you want to do? And I feel fortunate that, you know, I have a great family, and yeah, it sucks that I lost my job with ESPN for the year, and who knows what the future is going to hold in that department, but it's out of my control.
Yeah.
And I've learned the older I get, if I can't control it, I cannot worry about it because it will consume me.
And have you had to learn that lesson in the past?
Oh my God, all the time. I was a micromanager. I would always want to know. I still will battle that demon with Team Canada when we're together, and it's just like, what's going on with my family? I'm in 2 different places. I'm not 100% focused because I never am when I'm away from my kids in my life because they're my life. And so I always want to know stuff that, and I feel like this time has really like allowed for me to realize that I can only control what I can control. And if I can stay focused on that, and number one, try to be a good mom and like continue to be digging the grind and let, you know, Maddie and the kids see me working hard towards something, it just allows for them to see that like everything's okay. And I think with this time, the number one concern for me is like, this is a weird ass time for my kids.
Yeah.
You cannot go, like, I won't take them into a store. Like, I'll go grocery shopping occasionally and do stuff. Like, my kids I have a best quarantine friend. She's one of my best friends. She lives 6 houses down. We're the only people that see each other.
Yeah.
We have 3 kids, and like we see each other, and like the kids get to hang. And to me, that's like normal. But what a weird time for kids to just be like having to do school at home on computers and like not be interacting and not getting to do everyday life. So for me, it's about trying to make it as normal as we can. We don't crush the news. We don't talk about this thing and how scary it is. And if we do, we catch ourselves and just kind of like talk about it in private, because Maddie's like 6 and she knows or Audrey will just randomly be walking around the house and I can't wait for this coronavirus to be over. And she's stuff. And I'm just like, you're right, dude. I can't. It's so funny. But
yeah, I bet like through their eyes. Yeah, I'm sure. Because they're having to process all this weirdness as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to make it as normal as I can. This
normal.
is the time I remember 9/11 being like this weird to me. When that happened in Canada, like my dad came and picked us up from school and he's just like, world's and shit. What's gonna happen? I don't know, you know, and it's kind of that situation right now.
Yeah, I've been we have like experienced a lot. So in terms of like our lifetime and like the huge transitions in humanity. So like the coronavirus, cell phones, internet, 9/11, like the crash of what year was that? 2008? Yeah, 2008. It's just like, holy shit, that's like a lot to work through. But honestly, I feel like this generation is very strong and resilient.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We have no choice to be.
Seriously. I mean, I gotta get up and I gotta move on. There's shit so out of our control with this. And it's like at the end of the day, all we can control is what we're being told to do and stay home. And if you're fucking sick, don't go outside. I mean, there's just so many things that are just pretty obvious to do. So follow the instructions and this will pass. Who knows what the hell is going to happen when it does, as far as people's, you know, money and back to work and like all of that stuff. It's gut wrenching to think about. And I try not to, because it can like just like hurt my heart for like some of my friends. And I try to not think about it too much. Because if you think too much on it, it's just like I keep saying, it'll consume you. I get it. And then
too much thinking.
Too much.
Gets fucked up.
I put on USA, and I sit down, I'll just crush these foreigners trying to get into the USA. I'm like, this is not happening now after this Corona thing. You guys, no one's going to be able to get into the USA.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to brag about you a little bit. I'm going to go over your accolades. Are you ready? So you were born in Langley, British Columbia? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say that I love BC? I think it's gorgeous.
It is.
So
expensive.
Beautiful. Expensive. Yeah, I can imagine.
We can never afford it. Like a house is over a million. For a house we live in right now. Not worth it.
Sucks. Not worth it. Just go and visit.
And it'd be like a small ass like house. It wouldn't even be like one of those ones where you're in Tennessee, like living the good life.
Mm-hmm.
Nice mansion. It's just.
Yeah, sounds like California.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt. Keep going on my.
Oh, good. Okay, okay. All right.
Okay. Langley, BC.
Langley, BC. In 2009, you won the Women's College World Series. You are an All-American. At Washington, you're a Husky Hall of Famer. You're number one in career appearances, complete games, shutouts, wins, and strikeouts. You've even had 24 strikeouts in one game.
Was that a
UMass, I think.
Oh, UMass. Yeah, that was a 15-inning game, dude. That was a tough one.
Wouldn't have thought. I wouldn't have guessed UMass. Yeah, you hold the top 3 spots in strikeouts in a game for a 7-inning game or less. You're the 2009 USA Player of the Year, the 2010 USA Player of the Year. You're the only Washington athlete to ever win back-to-back Player of the Year awards. You're a 2009, 2010 Honda Award winner. You're also a 2009, 2010 ESPY nominee. You played on the 2008 Olympics with Team Canada. You played for USSSA Pride and Canadian Wild last summer. Are you going to play pro this summer?
And in Japan with Megan.
Yeah, I do remember that. She called me when you realized you were preggers.
Oh my god!
How was that?
Those were the best memories, dude. So this tattoo on my wrist right here, I to this day remember that moment so clearly, and I wish Megan was there. It was Jenny Topping that was there with me, and I remember feeling so sick for like the longest time. I'm like, this jet lag will not kick. It wasn't sick throwing up, but just tired and like fatigued. I'm like, this is weird. I've never had this. And I get there, 3 weeks goes by, and I call Andrew, and like clearly the hormones are raging because I just like hated him. I'm just, I can't get over this. What's going on? I was like, I think I'm pregnant. He's like, there's no way, because there was just no way. I don't want to put on this podcast, but there's no way. And then, so I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to take a pregnancy test. I go to the grocery store, I buy a Japanese test with a bunch of groceries, get home, I'm living by myself. I lived with Megan the year before, and I'm in this 3-bedroom like place by myself. I pee on the stick, I put my groceries away, and I go back in, and it's like two lines, but 2 Japanese symbols like side by side. And it was just this oh shit moment. But the Bob Marley song 3 Little Birds was playing so loud in my apartment because I was just obsessed with it. In that moment, yes, I was terrified for my life, but that song like hit such a heartstring of just like every little thing's gonna be all right. And it's funny to think that Maddie's going to be 7 in December, and like I could not picture my life without her. But I also think it came at a time where I wasn't loving softball. Like I wasn't like waking up with that intent every day of like, I'm so excited to do the best. I love Japan, but I really miss going over there with Megan. Yeah. And I was there with Jenny, and we weren't really good friends, and we didn't really know each other. And then I'm away from my husband and like all of this stuff. I was terrified to tell my family, but it almost rescued me from like, was not sure how my mentality was going to be playing in Japan and grinding out another 9 months of softball. I was on the low end of being like, I'm good to be done.
Yeah.
Then I got pregnant. It just kind of allowed for me to play one more year and then be like, I'm good to retire from the game.
Mm.
Here we are now. Back at it.
Really, it was just taking a break from it.
Yeah. Just a baby break, a couple kids, it's fine.
Yeah. How is it playing in Japan with Megan? It seemed like you guys really hit it off.
Top 5, like one of the best times of my life. Like, not only are you getting paid your worth, so you feel like a hell of a pro. You're just like, this is, not a lot of people get this opportunity to play in Japan and be in that, what was it, 10 foreigners or 12 foreigners that are in this 12 league. And, you're just feeling like, wow, I feel like I've made it, but I also have to put in the work. You look at how hard your teammates work and you're just like, dude, this is another level. Like, it's crazy to see how like USA trains, how Canada trains, how Japan trains. And it was just really interesting, I think, for us to see the work ethic and how dedicated they are. But Megan and I traveled around and we got to go to Tokyo and we went to Okinawa and like we would hang out and drink. And she's a lifer now because of the experience we had together, So I'm forever grateful and know that like, no matter what, hangover style, like we could kill someone. She's a steel trap. Like you could call Megan, like obviously not going to kill someone, but that's the type of friend she is.
Yeah, she is a lifer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's a lifer. Yeah, it was a little dark there. Hangover thing. Sorry, but it's true. She's Alan. She's the steel trap with me. Anyways.
That's hilarious. We actually started talking a little bit about your bullpens and how your bullpens are very different from some of the other pitchers that she worked with. So like the comparison was that your bullpen, like you warm up all of your pitches and there's like a certain sequence. I don't know if you still do it like that. Versus like most pitchers are the one pitch. Once that's all done, then going to the next pitch. Can you talk a little bit about how you kind of design that style of bullpen and why that works for you?
Yeah, I started to do it at UW because I was just mental. Like I would go big on the routine stuff and like needing to really not just focus on one thing. So it just got to the point that it became part of my routine when I would warm up for games. It'd be like rise, curve, screw, change, drop, and I would just do the exact same format. And obviously, like when I was warming up, if there was a pitch or something that's just terrible, or okay, I got to throw a couple more curveballs or something like that. But I can say this. I've never been a pitcher that allows a warm-up to dictate the outcome of my game because it's so easy. And I've been around so many pitchers that will have just shit warm-ups and they're just like deer in headlights. Oh my God, I got to go into the game. And this was terrible. And this wasn't working. God damn it. When you cross the lines, it's just like an inner warrior that comes out. It doesn't matter if your curveball was shit spin or coming in there 2 miles an hour slower than normal. It's like, but the purpose of the routine and doing stuff the same is to feel comfortable, right? Like, okay, nice. I'm feeling good. I'm doing what I know what to do. And then when you cross the lines, it's like a whole other level, which is scary to me to think about, like how different I become when I get the opportunity to compete. But routine has always been something that I've needed in order to feel good in the moment. And when I do cross the line, it's like, all right, I put in the work. I've done what I need to do. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. And at some point, if you're not feeling good in your warm-up, you're just going to have to say fuck it and not get it in your head.
Yeah. Play this game too much to get in our head anymore. I've learned that coming back and being at where I'm at now. Like, there's been so many moments in the past 3 years of like pressure, right? Where I'm out there's a lot going on, and I will literally take like 5 seconds and be like, my life is so much harder at home. Like, this is not hard. Like, cleaning up shit, this, that, go to sleep, not sleeping, like messy, like my life is way harder than this moment of throwing with bases loaded 2 out. Like, this is the fun part.
Yeah.
Life sometimes throws you that crazy, like, oh my God, that every day, the kids, it's a lot, it's this, it's that. So like, I feel like I found a newfound respect for the game in regards to just going out and just doing it. Like, not overthinking, like trusting the work that I put in, and I've always put in the work. I never will question what I bring to the table in that regards. It's just, I think pressure is just another element for us to deal with. And I don't fear it anymore. Like, I don't fear the failure aspect of it, because if you put in the work, what's meant to be will be. I can't fear that I'm going to give up a pitch and we lose based on that, or what's the point of me playing, you know? And I think about it, and the fact that like the Olympics, if it goes down next summer, like how hard we're all training right now for 5 games is a damn crime. You know what I mean? Like, you think about college and you're grinding and you're working and conditioning for a whole season. And it's like, we're training our asses off and pushing ourselves into this level that is not normal, in my opinion. But in order to get something that you want so badly, you have to work to this capacity. But it's for 5 games. That's crazy. Because I remember when we played Mexico in the Olympic qualifier last September, and that and Puerto Rico was a whole other level of emotion. Like, just even leading up and waking up, like, all right, let's go. So it's like every day when I'm working, it's with the intention of knowing that, like, you thought pressure was there. Wait till this happens. You know, you have one bad game, it can ruin your chances of winning a medal. That's a tough pill to swallow. And that's why I'm so hard on like my team and why I expect this work ethic, because not all of them have been to the Olympics. We're very fortunate, Canada, to have, there'd be 4 of us that went to the Olympics 12 years ago. But it's like, not to say that we know what it takes to win a medal, but I know what it takes to deal with those emotions of the game testing you on so many levels. And at that point, it truly comes down to, what have you done to allow yourself to thrive in the moment? Like, if you feel shitty and pressure, it's because there's some sense of a doubt that you haven't done enough to step up and be the one to do the job. And I think that's why I will get at times, like, I think about it, because in this game at times it's out of my control what somebody else does, right? Like, I can control what I can do, but if there's a certain player and they get tested and they F up or they screw up, and there's somebody that you've ever had that sense of doubt about, those are emotions that I think would be harder for me to deal with if we lose based on something like that.
Do you think it's doubt, or do you think it's experience?
Probably experience. You know, it's just like, but I can't say to those people, like, I know what I'm talking about and you need to do this. But it's like, at the end of the day, I've never sacrificed this much. I've never worked to this level. I've never had this much on my plate. So it's like, I expect that for everyone. I expect the work ethic to be there. To say that everyone will have the same mentality as me or Jen Salling or Kaylee Rafter or Vic Hayward, like, no, not everyone's going to act the same. But damn it, when we get the ability to work and do what's required and more, it's like the expectation is to make sure you do it with the intent of, like, we're training our asses off for 5 games. You're putting yourself to that unknown, because my number one thing that I dislike in people is just like the box checkers. Like, yep, just check the box. Okay, I did it. Yep, I'm supposed to do this. But are we doing it with intent? Are we doing it with that mentality of, like, okay, like right now when I'm grinding, like, I'm thinking about all those other players I'm going to be playing against. I'm thinking about Monica. What's she doing? What's Garcia doing? What's Wayne doing? Like, but that's a whole other beast in me, where it's like, I've always had to rely on the work to feel good in the moment, to give me that little extra competitive edge. So it's whatever that may be for our team. You got an additional 15 months to figure it out now. It's not like, I felt like we were good. If the Olympics were going to kick off this July, I was swaggy as ever. Let's just go. We were feeling good. Now we got to wait around another 15 months. And I feel like it's lit this hardcore fire in me, where it's like, if I'm doing this again, I will leave nothing to chance, no stone unturned. and push people to this level. If they hate me, then you hate me. But you want to be on my team, right? You want to play with me, you don't play against me. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like you see that attitude with dudes and no one says anything, right? Like guys can, Cristiano Ronaldo or all these people can just have this swag and like expectations of teammates. And I think at times with women, oh, like, oh no, she's being really hard on us, or why is she? No, winning is winning. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. What you expect and how you go about your business is the exact same. And the expectation of what I expect of my teammates is going to be a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
And I expect it for me too. And I expect them to hold me to that standard.
And also that level of intensity, commitment, and drive has gotten you to this place, to where you have all these accolades without even probably trying. It's just your way of doing things.
Yeah.
Where does this intensity and drive come from? Where did you learn it?
My dad, man. My dad was a tough man growing up on my brother and I, not in a bad way. We are not the same people we are without having two parents that were very different. You know, my mom was very loving and nurturing and like could really tell when it was like, all right, the kids need a break. They need, you know, they need time. And my dad was really big on like, dude, if you're going to do something, do it with the intention that I'm going to be the best at it. Like I remember vivid situations of like, even when he coached us in basketball, in elementary basketball, and he was just such a beast in the fact of like, if they got the ball, you go over and get your little ass over there and you go get the ball from them and you do everything in your power to get that ball. And like teams feared us. And my brother and I training together, we're not the same people if we didn't have each other to do it together, because obviously with him and what he's done in his life and being the beast that he was, it was nice to have someone that we could go and grind together. I mean, my dad would get home from work at like 4:35. He'd pick us up. We'd go down to the track and we'd train for an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. And I remember a moment, you know, maybe 2 years ago at the World Championships in Japan where we had to do a track race with our team. So we had to do like conditioning where it was like you had to do 4 laps, like a 4x100, 4x400.
Mm-hmm.
But in that moment, I had all these flashbacks of me and my brother at the track, like running 400s, 800s. And we had the oldest team. And I remember saying to my team, like, guys, I got this, okay? Listen to my tips on we're going to track. We're going to really cruise the long ones. But when you're going around the stretch, you got to really stride it out. And oh my God, we killed everybody. But it's the mental shit, right? It's the stuff because it's really hard. Nobody likes running a 400 meter. I guarantee you 400, 800 meters are by far the hardest thing you can do on a track. Because you can't go 100% or you'll die.
Yeah.
Literally.
You'll burn out.
You'll burn out and your legs will like literally feel the most insane feeling ever. So it was cool in that moment for us as a group, as the older ones. It was like me, Kaylee, Jen, Joey, and Whitey. And like, we did that and like lapped people. And like, people are looking at us like, oh my God, how are you guys able to do it? And it's like, dude, this is a mentality though. It's a mentality. Like you're telling yourself this shit's way too hard. So you're kind of like doubting yourself when it's just like, okay, what am I trying to accomplish here? Let's kind of get a plan and let's execute the plan. People get psyched out, man. Like in a heartbeat. Oh God, team conditioning and running around the track. That shit was hard. That was one of the hardest workouts I've done in a while. But man, I still walk around swaggy as ever talking about me crushing them in the background.
Do you know, has Canada solidified their roster, or that's still TBD? Does that mess with your head?
No. I mean, I wish that they did, because I just think the more that you as a team can gel in the sense of like, you know, the 15 people plus 2 alternates, knowing who you have just could maybe change a dynamic of a team a little bit. But I also respect his philosophy behind it too, was that like there had been some inconsistencies with performances at times from people. So I think he really wanted to make sure like he was going to choose the roster mid-May.
Mm-hmm.
and we were going to the Olympics in July. And I think the hardest part with all of that is sometimes people that are working their tails off and families buy Olympic tickets and everything, and then they get on the team. And it's, at the end of the day, what I talked to you about at the beginning of this, it's 100% out of my control. So I cannot let like something like that bother me. But it's hard to think that, you know, I've played with some of these women for a really long time, and you don't know if they're going to go with you.
Yeah.
Like I how USA did it when they picked their team. But now I'm like, do you do another tryout? You keep the same team going for 2 years now, the same team? What are they going to do?
I haven't heard that they're going to have another tryout. As far as I know, is they're sticking with the roster that they have, which is just, I mean, it's an interesting approach to the situation when we already know like things are changing on a daily basis, and I don't know, you know, they do their thing.
Yeah.
When did your softball journey start?
I played baseball up until I was 9, and then I got cut from the guys' Little League All-Star team strictly because I was a chick. And I'm telling you, I was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely because
I have no doubt about that.
I was the only girl. And I remember this day I got cut, you know, I'm pissed off because we were raised to be mad when I'm cut. So in that moment, you know, my dad pulls me aside and he just kind of like laid it out for me. He's always been an honest dude. Like, you don't work hard, you don't deserve it. You work hard, yeah, that's working harder.
Yeah.
And I've always appreciated that because it's put me to where I am now. But I remember he sat me down and he's just, let's just look at how, you know, this baseball thing works. Let's look at, you know, there's not a lot of opportunities for women in baseball to continue to pursue a career, right? If you want to go pro or you want to go to college, not many girls are playing college baseball. So I think at that time it was just like, let's find something else that you can do. I mean, I was lucky. He forced us to play many sports. You know, it wasn't like, Brett, you're just doing baseball because you're a phenom, and Danielle, you're just doing softball because now this is where I think you're going to get a scholarship. It was like, play all these other sports, be a beast at all of them, and train yourself on so many other levels. Like basketball was a whole other amazing part of my life that I could have got a scholarship for and played in Canada, not probably not in the US. But I just remember like being tested so many times, like conditioning wise, you're training your body in so many different ways, ACL, MCL, like so many things are getting trained different. You're thinking different. It's quick. Softball, you have a lot more time to just take in the moment, chill. And it really solidified my love of the game, was playing all these different sports. But I was late to the party. I started at probably 11 or 12 and started to get pretty good at pitching, probably 13, 14. And then I ended up making the junior national team at 15. So
mm-hmm. How did you and Washington cross paths? I
was HT's first recruit ever. And I feel really proud of that.
Wow.
She's a homie for sure. We're I remember I got a phone call. I was playing at the Canada Cup with my White Rock Renegades team. And I got a phone call on my phone from Washington, and I answered, and I was like, what's up? She's like, hi, Danielle, you know, it's Coach Tarr. Just got the job at the University of Washington. Really would love to come up and watch you play in the Canada Cup. And I was just like, oh God, yes, like, come on up. And she came up with her and Coach Gaw in these purple, you know, remember the purple unis they used to wear, like the purple tracksuits?
Yeah.
But it was low key really cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember they walked in and like everybody was just, you know, because back in the day it wasn't like it is now where it's expected where college coaches will go where the big tournaments are.
Yeah.
And we met with them after and just kind of, you know, my dad was super honest with them in regards to potentially me being able to do the Olympic thing and would that work? And it was great. I mean, she's like, we're really interested. We'd love to get you on a visit. And, you know, I was recruited by Alabama and Nebraska too with the national team connection. But I think for me being close to home and having my mom and dad there and my grandparents and stuff is shit I can never get back. Like those are things that are ingrained in me forever. And thinking about going to Tuscaloosa or going to Nebraska, my family would never have been able to afford to go to come and watch me all the time. So my parents helped me get there. And I think the present back to them is like they get to come and watch me play every single weekend and be such a big part of my softball journey. And I'm so lucky that Coach Tarr took a chance on me because I was the first Canadian to go there. Teresa Wilson never recruited outside of pretty much California or, those hot spots. So I think I came in with this attitude of like, let's go, let's rock the Canadian swag. Let's show them to be here.
Yeah.
And then that's when Jen went to Oregon, and then it started to kind of flow from there that maybe we should be looking at some of these Canadian kids.
Yeah. I do remember, do you remember coming to Austin?
Yes, I do. Win, dude. I thought we were going to win. I still to this day thought we were going to win. Never doubt me. Never doubt. And that's always been my attitude. We're facing Cat at the Olympics. Let's go. We're going to win. We almost did game one. Didn't we go like 0-0 until like
I mean, you guys were tough. I do remember thinking when Coach Tarr put you in that last game, it was the defining game, that I was like, man, I was thinking, I think when I hit off of you, I must have gotten jammed or something. I don't remember the exact moment, but I was like, damn, she should have started her.
She started Caitlin Noble, didn't she? She started Caitlin Noble.
Yeah, I do remember thinking that. And then Megan and I hit back-to-back home runs. I think after that, it was game over.
Yeah, it was. I still remember them flying out. I was just like, we're good. Like, we need to keep going. Like, that's probably one of the only times. There's been about 5 times I remember I'm good. Like, if you'd like to pull me, that was one of them.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to deal with it, right? It was just as freshmen. Pretty good. That day I wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was a good stepping stone to learn like what those emotions are like playing against teams that are expected to like win. You guys were supposed to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's when you were talking about some of your teammates and the doubt versus experience, it made me think back to my experience and how important those moments were. And just you feel it. Like I remember like just like my freshman year going to the World Series, just feeling that pressure. Like we're going up against UCLA. Like they have this long history of winning. They've got like mega superstars on their team. And we couldn't hit. So
True. You had Cat, but you just needed to get that one run. I felt like that a lot throughout my career at times.
Yeah.
Like, get one run and we're gonna win.
That's probably why you pitched so many damn innings.
Seriously, dude. Over 350 innings. Now, if someone throws over 200 innings, you're like, oh my God. Like, I had like 350. I'm assuming like Kira Garrell, or I think that's how you pronounce her name. Kat, Monica.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. 200 innings is a lot.
You threw so many. Oh man. So, I mean, there's a lot of news coming out with like, the only news coming out about all the different pro teams and hoopla coming out. Are you planning on playing this summer at all? Or what are your thoughts on that?
No. Yeah. Honestly, I needed, in order for me to be able to do this again and go, I think, into September with that, like, what do they say in Friday Night Lights? Clear eyes, full heart.
Yeah.
I need to really remember my why. And I think, like, if I went into the summertime playing with some random teams and being away from my kids, and like, I could potentially see myself going through the motions a little bit. Because let's be honest, like, I don't enjoy playing in the league. I hate to say it. I would never consider keep doing it. Like that would not be my choice. Like there was a moment playing against the Aussie Peppers at their like Bush League field where I literally almost rolled my ankle every pitch. Like I'm talking about my toe was like this. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm just like, what the F? Like, this is what we're still dealing with? Like, how long have I been doing this league and grinding it out from 4 teams to this and that? And it's like, I get rattled about it like 0 to 100 real quick. So it's like, at that time, I was so solidified in my thoughts of like, this is why I don't play anymore, because we don't get treated like pros. We're playing on garbage fields. Like, yes, they got a lot of fans, but that doesn't matter. We should not be treated and playing on those types of like fields. It's not okay. Because you would not do that with men's baseball. Pro baseball, absolutely not. I hate and hate and hate when people could keep saying, well, the women do it for the love of the game. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop. That's a bogus thing to say. Because at the end of the day, like for all of us doing it, like I stopped because I stopped loving the game at times because I was grinding and doing this. Like you're in college and you feel like a pro. You're in Japan and you feel like a pro. And then you get to this league and at times it like sets you back and you're just like, this is what like Amanda Lorenz and like all these people that come out of college are supposed to go to. And then you just don't hear about it anymore. And it's a crime.
Yeah.
But I mean, trust me, I play because I do love the game. But that's not the only reason why I play. Like the love of the game, they don't get paid what the men do, but they do it because they love it. And it's like, enough.
Yeah.
Enough. Can't stand it.
Yeah, we don't need to indoctrinate ourselves to be treated badly or to be put in compromising situations.
For sure. Not at all. God, it's
I know.
There's no way I could play this summer. There's no way I could do it. I couldn't play this summer and go into September and be like, all right, let's go. I need to spend and go on vacation with my family, soak up that time and like continue to ignite that fire of like, they're why I'm doing it. And when I get to September, balls to the wall, go back to training and grinding and going to go throw into a net 3 days a week, but it's raining at night and it's cold. And like, those are the things that are really hard to do. So I have to give myself a little bit of that break to be like, okay, because once September comes, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
So not in a bad way, but it's just, I really try to appreciate the grind because I know that you're not always going to get the end result. So it's like, if I'm going to make this choice to do it, I have to love it. And if I were to go do it and force myself this summer, I wouldn't love it. So
was that something that that was solidified in your mind last summer?
With what?
Like that you weren't going to come back
after the Olympics this summer?
No, last summer in the pro league.
Oh my God, man. I didn't have a choice because we were coming back because the Canadian Wild. And they're great. And the facility that we're at is top notch. We get amazing fans and stuff. That's great. But I think I had a tough time doing like the 9-hour bus trips and just locker room food and random meat and like, what am I?
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it, but I also understand we're doing it with the intent of it's preparing us to go to war, right? Because the league is by far one of the most competitive as far as talent. It really is. Like, so I really took away my thoughts on it and said, okay, as a team, this is going to prepare us for what it was, the Olympic qualifier, right? Like we need to put ourselves in the position to get tested. And that league helped us to say that like I was going to continue to do it unless I had to with the national team. Big time no.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Life goes on. Those are most of my questions. I'm just going to ask you some random questions about what would be your favorite book to gift somebody?
Favorite book? Ooh. Well, if it was the young up and coming softball person, I would give them The Heads Up Baseball by Revisit because I love that book. I just think it's
Classic.
Yeah, it just like opens up your eyes to like easy ways to train yourself to learn the mental stuff. I really appreciated, I read on the 9-hour bus ride to play the Cleveland Comets last summer. I read the Carly Lloyd book in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Really loved it. It just like was so cool to hear another woman's story in the sense of like her upbringing, how hard she's worked, being told she's not good enough to make the national team, working to this unknown that's insane. Like we're talking getting up at 4 a.m. before, you know, everything and working and then school. And it was crazy because it just allowed for me to realize like I'm not the only crazy person. And
Yeah.
I'm crazy, but like I don't get up at 4 a.m. to go do it. But she's one of the absolute best in the game. So that was another like really badass book that I've read. And just like an easy one, like Mind Gyms is super easy little pickup read.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was better. I wish I had more time to read because I do enjoy it, but I find myself if I get any time that's not getting mad at my kids or feeding my kids or cleaning my kids, it's either working out.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, oh man, I have like an hour to watch the show I recorded like 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Not let's sit on this couch and hear the screaming in the background of these children while I'm reading this awesome Kindle book. Doesn't work that way.
What music are you listening to right now?
It totally depends on the day. 90s R&B on Alexa all day. Like I will just go, Alexa, can you play 90s R&B? Doesn't matter where.
Yeah. Right on.
Scrubs. And then when I'm like grinding in the garage, like doing my Team Canada workouts, I will pump some 90s dance music or classic rock and just feel it in my core.
Mm-hmm.
Like Enter Sandman by Metallica will give me every feel possible in the book. And then you think of like the Jock Jam soundtrack when I was playing basketball, like grade 8, like going up in the warm-ups, putting up the ball. And
yeah.
Feels. This is just giving
having the tearaway pants.
Oh my god, the tearaway pants. Or when Space Jam came out and you're just like, oh, real deal. R. Kelly's not great now, but some of his songs back in the day.
Yeah, I know. You can't deny.
Can't deny it. No.
Yeah.
His childhood memories for sure.
Mm-hmm. I once saw Genuine play before, who was like so great in concert, wearing all white.
It's a bold move.
Yeah, it's a look.
Yeah. Look, I cannot pull off, and I probably never will. On my wedding day, that was it.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite shows or movies you're watching right now?
But I've watched Breaking Bad 7 times. Okay, Netflix will not let me download it anymore because I've watched it too many times.
Wow. I haven't been able to get through it.
Wow.
Maybe it's a timing thing. I don't know.
Right now would be the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay.
Set it up, get it going.
Okay.
And really take it for what it is. Really watch Walter from episode 1 transform himself into this not so nice guy. It's just it's crazy. My husband and I just finished Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu.
How was it?
That was crazy.
Okay.
I watched Handmaid's Tale, which is a little dark, but
yeah, it's good. I didn't get through the whole thing either.
It's dark.
Because like the main character just like drives me crazy.
The girl?
Yeah.
And my husband doesn't like her either. He won't watch any movies that she's in.
It's not that I don't like her. It's just that I'm just like, why?
Seriously. So many. What else? We're watching Outer Banks on Netflix right now, and it's legit.
Mm-hmm. I heard it's like a cross between OC and Gossip Girl. Is that an accurate depiction?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of action. Like at night we're going to bed and there's like so many scenes of like running and chasing and guns and this and that, and I'm just like, this is not calming. Like before bed, like this is the stuff you think about but it's so good though.
Okay.
And 90 Day Fiance, crush 90 Day Fiance. I love it.
I keep seeing the memes on it, and I feel like I need to see that episode.
Dude, watch the last season of 90 Day Fiance with Big Ed. It's hilarious. I look forward to it. Kids are like, you putting on 90 Day Fiance? I'm like, yep, leave me alone. The best.
Hilarious. Favorite kind of wine?
I like a good red Merlot. You know, I'm not a buy me a really expensive bottle of red wine girl. Like, you buy me an apothic red, could be any kind of apothic red. We'll have a good night.
Mm-hmm. And you live in a city with great restaurants, and I'm sure a lot of them aren't open. What's one restaurant that you look forward to going to when things are all settled?
There's a Mexican restaurant called Azul that's maybe 10 minutes from us. That's legit. My husband and I go there all the time. We usually get the same thing. I get the fish tacos. He gets the Louisiana chicken pasta, which is not Mexican, but he gets it every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's also that's so good, but like at 2 a.m, it's like in the back of your throat. Like, why did I eat that much?
Still there.
Oh my God, you cannot hammer your tongue enough. But it's so good though. Azul, I would say, is my top 5 for Seattle.
Very cool. And for people watching or listening, where can they follow you and learn more about you?
You can learn my open and honest journey on social media at Twitter. I have it and I post a good amount. Instagram, just Danielle Lawrie 15.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the honesty in people, especially when you're going through the grind. You know, I see social media as sometimes a tool for people to put this life out there of like not truth or not. People look at that and be like, I wanted that. I want that. I think it's so important for the younger little kids growing up to be able to just see honesty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially now that I have 2 little girls, I strive to be somebody that they want to aspire to grow up to be, but I also will always continue to tell it how it is, because there's too much going on in the world to be fake, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right on.
In putting the softball journey out there, saying how tough it is, but you got to love the tough to get the cool stuff at the end, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I love that quality about you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on here. I was probably more honest than I've ever been. So I don't know how the people are going to feel, but hopefully it's fine.
I think it's a conversation everybody needs to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining me, and hopefully the kids are still alive.
I know, I heard them knocking. Should probably go check it out.
I'm sure they're fine. Report back.
Make sure you watch some Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Have you gone past the first season?
No.
Oh my God. It gets better.
Is there something wrong with me?
No. Like I said, that was my pregnancy show. So I watched it all of Maddie's pregnancy, Audrey's, any plane ride, I download it. It's so good. It is so good. It's to my core. Like if I was in prison and they're like, one more show, that or the Sandlot. Tough pick. I don't know.
What was the last one?
Sandlot.
What's that?
No. The Sandlot? You're killing me, Smalls.
Oh, Sandlot. I thought you were saying Sandalot.
Yeah, Sandlot. Coming out of me? Isn't it the Sandlot?
Sandlot. I thought you were saying Sandalot, and I'm like, what the hell is that show? Why haven't I heard it? But sounds yes, Sandlot, classic.
Yeah, I know. We watch that tonight with the kids. Maddie likes it. Yeah. She's always like, "You're killing me, Smalls." She'll walk around the house.
Mm.
The old
so good.
Shows are the best shows, man. You know.
Yeah. I mean, A League of Their Own is still just so good.
So good. I have it taped on the DVR.
It's a good one. All right.
Cool. Give me the link to this, and I'll kind of put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get you hooked up with an account so you can view all the stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay,
all right.
Stay digging the grind here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I would trade you to be quarantining alone for a couple days. You better fully enjoy this. I like having a family, but I'd love a break.
Yeah, you haven't heard me complain about it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. Like, I understand.
I'd probably stack up with Megan, and we'd probably just be chilling in the same house together.
Yeah, I'm actually going over to our house later.
Good call. Can you tell her I said hello?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I'll see ya.